1952, the US tested Ivy Mike. It was the first hydrogen bomb. The Soviets followed in 1955 and the British in 1957. The destructive potential of the human race had just multiplied by 1,000. The fourth country to join the list was France. France had been humiliated during the Suez Crisis and felt pushed around by the superpowers. They decided they needed their own deterrent to ensure they were treated as a great European power. The United States was strongly against France having nukes. They tried to discourage it, but President Charles de Gaulle was adamant. He famously stated that nuclear weapons were essential for French sovereignty. France sourced uranium from their colonies in Africa, like Madagascar and Gabon. Even though France was still rebuilding from the destruction caused by World War II, their scientists worked tirelessly. In 1960, France drove out into the Sahara Desert in Algeria. They detonated their first device called the Jaboise Bleu. The explosion sent a massive message to Washington and the world. France was proving that they no longer needed to hide behind the American military for safety. The fifth country was China. The Chinese wanted a deterrent against the United States. Initially, the Soviet Union helped them. They saw China as a fellow communist ally, but the relationship soured. The Soviet leader Khrushchev began to criticize the legacy of Stalin and sought better relations with the West. The Chinese chairman Mao Zedong thought this was weak. He accused the Soviets of losing their revolutionary spirit. The two nations split, and the Soviets withdrew all their technical help. They left China to figure out rest of the stuff by themselves. China was in the middle of massive internal turmoil with the Cultural Revolution, but they poured resources into the bomb. In 1964, China shocked the world by testing their first atomic bomb at the dried-up lake of Lopnur. Then they did something incredible. Just 32 months later, they tested a hydrogen bomb. This was the fastest any nation had ever gone from a basic fission bomb to an advanced fusion bomb. The sixth country is the most mysterious one on the list. It is Israel. To this day, Israel has never officially admitted to having nuclear weapons. They maintain a policy of total ambiguity, but the world knows they have them. In the 1950s, Israel began building a secret nuclear facility in the Negev desert with help from the French. American spy planes eventually spotted the construction. President John F. Kennedy was very concerned. He demanded inspections. The Israelis stalled and hid their true activities. They built fake walls and hidden elevators to conceal the bomb-making facilities underground. Kennedy died before he could stop them, and his successor Lyndon B. Johnson was much more lenient. By 1967, it is believed that Israel had the bomb. The world got confirmation of this decades later in 1986. A technician named Mordecai Vanunu worked at the secret Israeli facility. He took photos and smuggled them out of the country. He gave the story to a British newspaper, but before the story could be published, the Israeli Secret Service called the Mossad caught up with him. They set a trap. A female agent pretended to be an American tourist in London. She flirted with Vanunu and convinced him to fly to Rome with her for a romantic weekend. As soon as he arrived in Rome, he was drugged and kidnapped and shipped back to Israel. He spent 18 years in prison. His sacrifice confirmed to the world that Israel was indeed a nuclear power. The seventh country